Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. Today we're going to continue along the thread of the antagonists I've been presenting for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So far we've just dipped our fingertips into a pool of cosmic evil, so let's just go full-blown right now. We are delving back into the Relic, which is an antagonist I use for a horror-based Dungeons & Dragons campaign. And you can really use some of the principles that I've been talking through on several videos about herself and her minions and kind of what she does just for Dungeons & Dragons in general, or any fantasy role-playing game system, or even maybe Fantasy Noir or Call of Cthulhu or the like. And really leaning into the Call of Cthulhu, we have some more cosmic horror today. But first, I want to go ahead and give you a quick recap of who the Relict is. She is a little fragment of cosmic evil that is trapped in a soul cage, which is her steel skeleton, over which is laid a waxwork that appears to be a dainty woman. She dresses and acts like an aggrieved widow, but all the time she's doing her best to amass power and wealth and luxury for herself, as well as creating a bevy of waxwork and cosmic horror creatures, and now she's going to hit her apotheosis. So let's go ahead and take a look at Nefereluz, the Hand of the Cosmos. Towering at 35 feet in size, this red-skinned hand is dotted with mismatched eyes ranging from 5 to 10 feet around. The largest of these ocular organs gaze from each tip of its 6 fingers. Some of the eyes appear to be from various humanoids, others from a myriad of beasts, and some from species altogether undiscovered. Before the horror's palm sizzles a fiery sigil of a slit eye surrounded by mind-bending runes. This symbol blinks, moves, and tracks targets as an actual eye would. Lashing blue tendrils as long as a man dangle from Nefereluz's wrist, hiding the entity's many hidden human-sized mouths. Nefereluz is the severed hand of a god that never was. It seeks to resculpt reality by first plunging it back into the primordial chaos from which it came. Once, this cosmic horror was a sentient golem of wax, bone, and steel. It still retains an iota of the Relic's personality and intends to shape this new world in a way that truly loves and adores it because it has no other choice. The longer Nefereluz is allowed to exist on the material plane, however, the more laws of reality will break down around it. For its severed siblings want into creation too, and Nefereluz is pleased to lend a hand. Okay, I know that was a bit cheesy, but let's go ahead and take a look into the Hand of the Cosmos' statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. There are quite a lot because it is a CR20 aberration and a legendary creature, so bear with me. Of course, it has a decent armor class, quite a few hit points. It does have some really solid saving throws. It is resistant to cold damage. It has damage immunity to fire, poison, and weapon attacks that are not magical, and a whole lot of condition immunities. It knows Common, Draconic, Primordial, and has telepathy of 120 feet. It does have fire absorption, so anytime it would take fire damage, it heals that many hit points instead. It does have illumination. It can glow with the strength of a candle or a torch at a radius of 100 feet. It does have legendary resistance 3 times per day, and it does also have putrid regeneration. Much like the Mandragora that I've covered before here, it does have Noxious Affluence, which is basically the spell Sickening Radiance on a large scale, so creatures that are subjected to its light take necrotic damage and also gain levels of exhaustion if they fail their save. However, in addition, if they are reduced to 0 hit points by this effect and die, they are resurrected automatically 1d4 turns later. However, they do become aberrations instead. Their alignment switches to chaotic evil and they become friendly to the Hand of the Cosmos. This does go away with a wish spell or if the creature is killed again and then brought back to life. They just revert back to how they were before. It does have multi-attack. It can make 1 slam attack, or it can make 4 fiery gazes. Slam attack is just a slam attack that does a lot of damage because it is a giant hand. Fiery gaze is a ranged fire attack, and if this drives someone to 0, they become a waxen, melty puddle. It can only be brought back to life with true resurrection or wish. Now, of course, as a legendary horror, this does have quite a few legendary actions. These do include Slam, so it makes a slam attack. Profane Beam, so it focuses that sickening radiance it has on one specific creature that it now has to repeat its save. Grievous Revelation, where it spreads the truth of the universe into the minds of the creatures around it, and they have to make a save or take psychic damage and be incapacitated from the knowledge that has now infected their brains. Or Smolder, where it can use its smoldering fire to produce a ridiculous amount of smoke methods that are friendly to it. I know Neferalu's the Hand of the Cosmos is a pretty rough creature that maybe your heroes will never want to fight, and that's kind of the point. The Relict itself is either a end tier 1 or an end tier 2 villain, and the Hand of the Cosmos is a CR20 creature, so the idea is the players want to prevent her from going through that apotheosis and bringing this just towering horror into reality, and if they don't, things are going to be really bad if they don't maybe retreat and figure out a way to get rid of it later that you can come up with, or, you know, just recklessly throw themselves at it at low level and get TPK'd, because we all know how players act. Now, you can find Neferalu's, the Hand of the Cosmos, all of the creatures for the Relic, along with hundreds of other horror-themed creatures for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, all perfectly free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons content that I have that's horror-related, or the horror fiction that I write that includes grease paint right there, you can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. Thank you, as always, for your time and your attention, and let's have a wonderful week, everybody.